Hey, what's up everyone? So I've got a little bit of extra time on my hands and I can do another video. I'm going to do the rehousing now of a Chilobrachys fimbriatus, which is the Indian violet. Now she's already in an enclosure like this. I'm just not happy with the layout. It was meant for her as a temporary enclosure before. Um, and unfortunately, I don't think the layout is good now for her, especially since I've now mated her. I want to give her something with a little bit more space so that she has a lot more room to lay her egg sac. If she does do that, we're really hopeful. But I'm going to basically change the layout in here. And I'll show you what I do, how I set up an enclosure like this for a fossorial like that to lay eggs. But yeah, let's get started. What I wanted to do first is I want to create a base for her to be able to create an egg sac at the bottom of the tank. So I'm going to first use a plastic terracotta pot that I've cut the bottom off, because obviously we wanted to lay an egg sac in there, but we need to be able to see it. So I cut the back off because these enclosures usually sit at the back of a shelf and they're very dark here. So she wouldn't have any reason really to web that closed. But what I can also do is I can get a piece of polystyrene or a piece of plastic or card and push it in the back there behind the pot, so that come time where she may have webbed up and we haven't seen her in a while, you can actually lift that piece of card out and it'll hopefully move any webbing with it, so that you can look inside and see, has she created a web, has she created an egg sac, and can you pull it? Because if you can't see it, you don't know what to do, and you don't want to disturb her if she hasn't dropped it yet. So I'm creating first this little backing so that she's got a good space to go into to go lay. Then I've created a second little piece here as a tunnel entrance that I've chopped away an entry for her here. So putting these two together, she now has an entrance here. She can go all the way through to the back and lay in comfort, and feel that she's sort of secluded under all of this. And then I'm just going to block this off with a piece of hardscape or something, so she will basically have this lovely tunnel, a fossorial environment in which to prepare her egg case and hopefully drop some fertilized eggs for us. So I'm going to do that like that. I'm then going to put in a piece of hardscape. Let's say I'm going to use this piece and put it in roughly there, just to block off that gap. So she can web that closed, and also just make it look a little bit more interesting. So okay, let's start filling this in. Again, I'm just using Monster Mix, which is my own mix of soils. Nothing special, just a basic substrate. I'm going to fill that in, and I'm not going to put substrate on the bottom because she's probably going to web that all up and move soil in and out as she feels fit for herself. So you need to give them that opportunity. And if you fill it with soil, it's also fine. They'll just probably move it out as they need. So we're going to cover this all up now. And this structure is great because, as you know, with the Chilobrachys, they love webbing. So they can always anchor their webbing to that. She'll probably web this closed, or possibly make it a second. No, it's a bit small to, I think, come through. But anyway, put a little bit of sand here, or substrate. There we go, so we've got that all covered up. Cover this now, start pressing it down. And I think what I should actually do is possibly put a rock. Yeah, here's a stone. I can actually maybe close this off with a stone. Maybe a piece of driftwood. I'll test it. If it doesn't work, I'll replace it with a piece of driftwood later on. Yeah, fine. Just to close it up. Yeah. Okay, let's put in another one. I don't think I'm going to need 2 full ones here. Then she's probably going to web up. Okay, now I'm going to put a water dish up in front, just so that it's also easy for me to get at. So that'll be placed roughly here. But now you've created 2 lovely layers of height and depth, so that the spider can do all its private work below, and it can come upstairs if it feels like taking a walk outside, wants to explore or come and hunt for food, then it can do that. So this is how I like to set them up, especially with Chilobrachys for breeding, because they tend to like this layout. I've had good success with it. So clean some of the dust over here, like that. And I don't think we're going to do a whole lot more. I need to move her across here, and obviously this part's never scripted. I bring them across as they are, because that's the reality of this hobby. They don't just come out and do what you ask, and please and thank you, and they'll move over, politely. But let's see if we can get this lady across here now. But let's take a look at the tank first. What our layout looks like. So as you can see, there's the entrance I created over here for her to get in. I mean, that's probably about, but yeah, if we look at that, that's roughly, yeah, I'd say down the bottom there, a good 5 centimeters across for her to get in, and a good 5 centimeters high for her to get through. So it's more than big enough for her to move through. She's got a water dish and space to move, place to anchor her webbing. And then of course, let's have a look at the back. And you have a lovely open area to have a look at what she's doing on the inside there, which she will customize and do whatever she needs for herself. So that's how the enclosure is set up. Now we just need to bring her across. So let's get that going. As I said, she's already in one of these, but it's just, the space she's got under that little, the log here is very small, and I'm not happy with it. So I thought let's rather rehouse her, especially now that she's been mated, and see if we can get her out of here. Gather some of the webbing. Okay, let's see where she's hiding. She's built herself a hell of a tunnel in here. So she's obviously going to web up and do more like so in the new enclosure. Well, we hope. There she is. Okay, sorry to disturb you, ma'am, but we need to give you a new home. How am I going to do this so that it's easy? Okay, well that's what these tanks are made for, so let's try and do it that way. Like that. also going to give me a hard time. Okay. Let's see if we can get you out of there. And there you go. Not too difficult. Okay, let's see. Sorry. And there she is. So she's going to be able to move in and out here easily. Oh, abdomen's growing nice and large already since she's been mated. But she's an absolute beaut. And this is going to be her new space for the next little while. And hopefully she'll also drop us, like I said, some really healthy fertile eggs, and we'll get a few more slings out of her. Just give her some water and then we're done. Not this lid, the clean one. There we go. Sorry for all the reflections, but I hope you found this interesting and how I set up my enclosures for this Chilobrachys species to breed. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.